Oh, they did it. They played it for me. Take a look at you. You are, I am the walrus. Oh, what a song. This is 50 years old. Can you imagine 50 years ago coming out with something like this? And it still sounds new. What a band. Check the big board. Not exactly a huge move for the Dow Industrials at this moment, but we're up 28 points. We'll take it. 24,953. Big tech. That's where the action is. Look at that. Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Alphabet, Microsoft, all of them up. Amazon above $1,800 per share. I think we've got some visuals now of the big protests that are going on in London. They hate President Trump and they're showing it. However, Ash, it occurs to me, they're the usual suspects on the left.
Same old renter crowds. You know, it's funny but London is the protest capital of the world. It holds the record for the most in one day, 37. Did you know that?
No.
And it's the same old crowd. They just changed the signs. Look, if you go outside of London, much as if you leave the west and east coast of America and you get into the heartlands of these countries, these people have a much different view. It's always the silent majority, and I think certainly that's the case in the UK, and that's how we saw Brexit get approved. It wasn't London that was dictating it, it was the rest of the country.
Those protesters, Tammy Bruce is with us, by the way, sitting right next to me here. Those protesters in London, egged on by the mayor of London, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, sure. But great point in that this is like New York having a protest. You can't gauge what's going on really in the rest of the country based on that activity. At the same time, you're looking at an attitude of a failing left. They know that they're at the end. And they're upset about that. And I think I'm a big fan of protests. It's fascinating television. Yeah. But that's how they misjudged Brexit. Remember, all the experts in England were like, oh, that's going to fail. They were shocked. The problem for liberals is they get stuck in their bubble. They don't know what else is going on. And that's why they're failing at this point, really around the world.
Yeah. Stuck in their bubble. I think there should be a banner along the bottom of the street. Stuck in their bubble.
Yeah.
Right. That's a northern accent. Stuck in his bubble.
By gum.
By gum. By the way, the president this morning at the press conference had something to say about immigration. Referring to Germany, he said, immigration, open borders, has very much hurt Germany. And he said to Europeans in general, watch yourselves. Well, right now in America, we've got the Democrats pushing forward a move in the House to abolish ICE.
Yeah.
Problem is, Democrats in the House are not all going to vote for it.
Yeah, well, this is what's fascinating. You've heard them all call for this. The reaction in America is, what? Well, you know, we don't want that. The polls show that Americans are against that. But they were pushing it anyway, very strangely, almost like just to raise money or to have another argument. But now that they actually put a bill up and their bluff is being called, they're actually saying if you actually have a hearing, if you put this up for a vote, we'll vote no. They wanted it as almost like this kind of facade of action, but when it comes right down to it, they can't even stand up for what it is they say they care about. This is why Democrats, the average grassroots liberal, is lost with this kind of dynamic. I've been arguing for weeks now that the divide we're supposed to be having maybe doesn't even really exist, that it's been that falsely portrayed that Americans are against each other and at each other's throats, when in fact maybe it's been just a charade from the beginning. That refusal to vote for their own bill shows you the fraud that's being perpetrated, certainly at least against liberals in this country.
And I also think social media is responsible for amplifying a divide, to Tammy's point, that may not be there.
I got to ask you about Hillary Clinton.
I have no opinion about Hillary.
Okay. She is addressing the teachers' conference this afternoon. Yeah. Teachers' union conference, I should say. Mm-hmm. Now, that's what you do when you're running. Is she running?
A lot of people would hope that she's running. I don't think she has it in her, but I think maybe she imagines herself being somehow a king or a queen maker. At least still, she's not really even interested, I think, in the presidency. She remains interested only in herself. And the argument that she was personally wrong. Now, keep in mind, it's also Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders will be speaking. And this is a union that is affected by the Supreme Court decision that tells union members you can't be forced anymore to opt in. You can't be forced to give dues to a union. This is going to crush unions. All the unions are upset about it, but really, Why would you need to be able to survive by forcing people to support you?
Right.
Don't persuade them, give people something that they actually feel like they want to be a part of. The teachers union apparently feels that they're going to be unable to do that. They supported Hillary in 2016. We can see that that did not necessarily help. And it's really this old guard coming together, trying to find a way to survive. The only way to do it is to become relevant. And Hillary's got a problem with that, and so does the teachers union.
I hope I never cross you, Tammy.
But
You'll be cutting in the extreme.
We see this with how the union members will respond, how the American people responded to Hillary.
Yeah.
It is a fact of the matter. This could be good for them if they really wanted to say, what have we done wrong? What can we do to bring people back to us? And frankly, we need better test scores. We need people graduating at a better rate. We need them to do their job. And most teachers, obviously, we're going to see are going to agree with that by not opting into the union at this point.
Stuck in a leftist bubble.
That's right.
No,
Stuck
what was
in a
it?
bubble.
Stuck in a bubble.
Yeah.
Right, with a British accent, northern accent. Tammy, thank you very much indeed. Now this.